Hey guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel here at ArmorTech. Today we have our 2023 CF Moto UForce 1000. We're going to show you how to install a set of our ArmorTech doors. Before we get started, let's go ahead and have a look at our tool list. Before we unbox our doors, we want to go ahead and remove our safety netting, as well as our seatbelt clip and our bolster bar. We've already taken down our safety netting, but we'll show you how to take this off. We've got two bolts we just want to take out. Take a 10mm socket. We'll just remove those. And we'll stick those bolts right back in the same hole. Let's get them a little snug. Now we'll remove our bolster bar. I'm going to go ahead and pop this seat. Get it out of our way. We'll take our 3/8 ratchet with our 14mm short barrel socket. And we'll go ahead and take the bottom one loose. And now the bolt at the bottom. And now we'll take our deep barrel socket and remove the top bolt. The two bolts that held on the bolster bar at the top section, we'll want to save those for further installation of our ArmorTech doors. So we'll put those back in here for the time being. Inside of our box, we'll want to find our set of jams. We're going to start with the installation of those. And inside your jams will be a hardware bag that will contain all of our hardware to mount the doors. Now we're going to go ahead and mount the female section of our hinge onto our jam. We'll want the barrel on the downward side of the jam. We'll go ahead and put these on prior to mounting. There's two slots in the top and two in the bottom. We'll set our hinge center of the slot. We'll back these with a flat washer, a lock washer, and a nut. We'll do the same thing on our lower hinge. Again, our 1/4 by 5/8 Phillips screw. All this comes out of bag 16 in our hardware bag. We'll take our P3 Phillips screwdriver and a 7/16 wrench, and we'll lightly snug these in the center of our slot. In hardware bag number 78, we're going to locate bracket A, and it will mount here where the upper section of the bolster bar once mounted. We'll remove the screws that we saved, and in this end of the bracket, we'll go ahead and install it now. We'll leave them a little bit loose as these has vertical adjustment. We ensure that we hit the holes in the jam properly. Next, we'll pull the bench seat rocket forward, and we're going to loosen this bolt. Do not take it all the way off. We'll just loosen it with our 17mm socket. Next, we'll locate bracket B, and the slot right here will go right here behind the seatbelt bushing and up flush to the plate. Bracket B should rest on the plastic with the 90-degree bend coming towards the front, and we'll go ahead and tighten this down. In bag 78, locate our long 6mm by 60mm flanged head bolt. We'll take the 6mm nut off the back. We'll go ahead and mount our jamb. Bolt will go through the top slotted hole and into the threaded portion of the framework. We'll just get this bolt started to where the jamb will hang. We'll run that through. Now you'll want to make sure your jamb is seated firmly into the pocket of the framework. So give this a light push, make sure everything's seated. We'll tighten this up. Now we'll back it with our jamb nut and snug this up with our 10mm wrench. Also in bag 78, we've got our 1/4 by 1 inch Phillips panhead screws, and we'll go ahead and insert those into the 2 holes here and the one at the bottom. And we'll back these with a flat washer and a lock nut. The same on the bottom. Now we'll take our 14mm socket and tighten up bracket A. Now we'll take our P3 Phillips bit in our impact and our 7/16 wrench, and we'll tighten these down. Next we'll get our door out, and we will locate our hinges in bag 29, as well as our 1/4 by 5/8 screws, lock washers, and nuts out of bag 16. We'll go ahead and mount the hinges with the male prong facing downwards towards the bottom of the unit. We'll insert the top hinge in the top set of slots, and it's to be noted that these slots have horizontal adjustment, making sure our door opens and closes properly. We'll back these screws with a flat washer, lock washer, and a nut, just like the jamb. And we'll locate these center of the slot and lightly snug. We'll do the same on the bottom set of slots. In bag 78, we'll locate bracket C. This is also our striker bracket that will accept our bolt, and we'll mount that right here on the bike. Alright, let's focus our attention on the side of the bike where we're going to mount our striker plate. There's 2 spots pre-stamped from CF Moto, and this is where we'll drill out the plastic. Behind here is a metric nut, and this is how we'll attach our striker plate. Take a 3/8 inch drill bit, and we'll drill this plastic. In bag 16, we'll locate our 8mm by 16mm bolt. It's our Allen head, and we'll use our 5mm Allen wrench. We'll go ahead and start the bolt in the bottom hole. Bottom slot of bracket C, our striker bracket, will slide in behind that. And now we'll install our top bolt. Now we'll locate our striker bolt out of bag 16. Remove the nut and 1 flat washer. Go ahead and put that in our slot of our striker bracket. And this will give us adjustment. It'll move back and forth in the slot to bring our door in and out to help it seal up if necessary. We're going to guess around about center. We'll take our 3/4 inch wrench and our 11/16 inch wrench, And we'll give that a light snug center of the slot. Now we'll mount our door onto our jamb. We want to place the door 90 degrees perpendicular to the unit. Pick it up at the bottom here where our hands are free and clear. We'll slide the male prongs of the hinge on the door into the female's barrel and hinge on the jamb. We'll rock this back and forth and let it seat all the way down. Bag 10 contains our push button handle. We'll locate that. Before we install it, in bag 16 we'll have some 6 mil by 25 mil screws along with our 6 mil jam nut. We'll go ahead and start the jam nut and run it up about center ways of the bolt. And in the end of the push button prong, there's a threaded insert. We'll thread the bolt in. We'll run it all the way down until we touch that jam nut. And this allows the push button to come through and properly strike the door latch. We'll take our 10mm wrench and we'll lock this in place. Now we'll find our door handle gaskets. We'll put the top end over the screw and go ahead and mount the gasket on the bottom portion of the handle. And we'll take some more of our 6 mil by 25 mil screws along with our flat washers, and we'll go ahead and get the handle lined up. On the back side, we'll insert our screws. I'll install more of our 6 by 25 mil screws in the front two holes. And we'll take our impact with our 10 mil socket and we'll lightly snug these up. Now it's time to finely tune and adjust our door to where we're fitting properly. We want to take the door and go ahead and latch it onto the striker bolt. And we want to take an overall look at our body lines and our seams, and just to kind of see where we need to be. Also, we're paying attention to the gap, the distance between the door and our jamb, to make sure that that is even as we can get it. And the door seems to look pretty good. So we're going to go ahead and tighten down our hinges right there where they lay. Now we're inside the bike. We're focusing on our 2 paws of our latch, and we want to make sure that it is striking center and that they're both moving at the same time. It appears that our striker bracket bolt assembly needs to come up just a touch, so we'll make that adjustment. We'll lightly loosen our 8mm bolts, and we'll pick this assembly up just a tad and we'll tighten this back down. Now that we have our striker bracket assembly adjusted, looks like we're getting a double click. There's our first click and there's our second. To make this shut easier, we want to check our perimeters and make sure we're sealing. As long as we're sealing good, it's to be noted that our latch plate has slots in it where we can move this in and out. And as I mentioned earlier, we can move this striker bolt left and right. That's shutting pretty good. Your ArmorTech doors are now installed and you can enjoy them on your next ride. Thanks for watching, guys.